Mrs. Miller here. Today I want to talk to you about the fact that you are a writer. And I want to talk about some of the things that you can do to be a more independent writer. That means writing on your own more from home. I just wanted to remind you of some of the things we did when we were in the classroom to help you to write on your own, okay? So I just want to talk about some of the steps that we go through when we're writing, okay? I'm going to be writing some of the steps up on the board. The first step, whenever we want to write about something, whether we're writing an opinion, which remember is telling somebody about what we think about something, something's great, not so great, that's our opinion, right? Whether you're writing a narrative, that's a story, remember, with a beginning, a middle, and an end. Or whether or not you're writing something that's informative, where you're teaching somebody about something that you're an expert about, right? Doesn't matter what kind of writing you're doing. The first thing you should always do is talk. You want to talk about it first. Sit down with mom, dad, brother, sister, cousin, grandma, grandpa, aunt, uncle, whoever is at your home with you, and talk about it. That's going to help you to get lots of ideas for your writing. That's step one. Step two. Draw. Once you've decided what it is you're going to write about, then you want to draw to help your brain remember what you want to include so you don't forget important things. I did my own writing last week about staying inside. And I wrote about how I like staying inside, but I also kind of don't like staying inside. So the first drawing I did, and I already put labels on my drawing, but the first drawing I did is all the things that I can do now that I'm not at school all day, every day. I get to sleep a little bit more. I get to do exercise every single morning, which I didn't always have time for when I was at school every day. I've been reading a lot more. And up here I put a clock because I have more time. I also drew a picture here of Emery because I get to spend more time with Emery because Emery's school is closed too. So she and I have been home. Also with Eric. I could have drawn Eric too. My husband, because we are spending time as a family more. But I get to spend time with Emery. We get to listen to music, do puzzles. We're cooking and baking together, reading lots of books. I get to do those things with her. But then I also added a page about how I don't love being stuck at home so much because I bet you can guess why. I miss all my students. I couldn't fit 20 of you in there, so I didn't draw all 20 kids, but that's me thinking about you and being sad. And look, I gave myself sunglasses because I messed up. Is it okay to mess up? Yes, it's okay to mess up. And another thing, did you notice? My drawings are not perfect. They're not full of lots of details. They're just simple to get my ideas out on paper, okay? That's step two. Step three. Label your pictures. We didn't do this all the time on our own in class. We did this a lot together as a class. Remember, we made our California symbols charts that had lots of words. We made our charts for camping and Disneyland and Legoland that had lots of words, right? We would make lots of charts with lots of words, so when it's time to write, you know where to go to find words if you don't know how to spell them. And also, so you don't have to do the hard work of sounding out while you're writing. You do the hard work of sounding out now while you're labeling. So here you can see I labeled exercise, reading, more sleep, time. I put, Emery, music, puzzles, baking and cooking, reading books, and then here, all the things I miss. Students and school and teaching in the classroom, and I'm crying and I'm sad and I miss them. So I'm putting all those words there. So when it's time for me to write, I'm like, oh, I can't remember how to sound out students, or I can't remember how to spell it. Oh, I wrote it down, right? And even if you don't spell it right on your labels, you already did that hard work of sounding out. Now, this is actually a step I forgot, so I had to go back and record it, and I'm slipping it in now. This is a really important step, and we did this sometimes in class. This is something really good to do if you get stuck and you're not sure what to write. Point and talk. Point and talk means before you put your pencil down on your paper and start writing, just point it out and say what you want to write before you write it. It's going to help your brain to make sure you don't forget important words and that you're writing in complete sentences. Let me show you what I mean. Pretend I have a picture here. Maybe it's this picture here of me sleeping, right? And I want to plan what I'm going to write. Maybe I have my sentence frames here. They're going to help me figure out what I want to say. I might say, staying inside isn't so bad. I get to do a lot of things I don't usually have time for, like exercise, sleep more, and read. Period. Once you say that, your brain's ready to write. You have a better idea of what you want to say, and you'll have a clearer picture ahead of you. Step 4 is finally writing. It's time to write. Use your sentence frames. Use your sight words. Use your pictures with your labels. Use your knowledge of sounding words out. You put that all together to start doing your writing. So you can see here's my picture, and then underneath it, I already did my writing. Okay, and I used the sentence frames to help me. I made sure I was spelling all my sight words correctly and sounding out all the words I wasn't sure about. There's another step after writing. Hold on. Step 5. Reread, right? Don't wait till you're all done to reread either. You should be stopping after every sentence. Let me show you. Let's pretend like I haven't written anything yet, right? So I'm going, okay. Staying inside isn't so bad. I like it because I get to do things I don't normally have time. Oh, good thing I reread. Have I missed a word? I get to do things I don't normally have for. I forgot the word time. Remember how I showed you how to do a caret? I can go ahead and add that in because I reread. If I wasn't rereading my writing and I was like, I'm done, and I showed it to mom or dad or I posted it online to share, I wouldn't have noticed that. So it's a good thing I reread my writing and I noticed I missed a word. I'm going to add it. Time. There. I added it in there. Have time for. Good. I'm going to start from the beginning again. Staying inside isn't so bad. I like it because I get to do things I don't normally have time for, like exercise, extra sleep, and reading. Also, I get to spend more time with Emery. We get to listen to music, read books, do puzzles, and bake together. I don't like everything about staying inside, though. I miss my students and being at school with them every day. As awesome as being home can be, I hope we all get to leave soon. Oh, and you can see here, I already reread and I messed up and noticed I missed a word, so I added that in. As I was reading, I was checking off in my head. Step 6. Hold on. Step 6. Checklist. As I was reading my writing to you, I was thinking about the checklist. This paper has a checklist on the side. I also put a checklist on your OneNote for all the things you should always look for. Capital letters at the beginning of your sentence, spaces between your words, periods at the end of your sentences, making sure your words are sounded out, your sight words are spelled correctly, making sure that you're including a beginning, a middle, and an end if you're writing a story, making sure you're including your reasons if it's an opinion, or making sure you're telling me facts if it's informational. This one was opinion, right? So I gave you all my reasons why I like being at home or why I don't like being at home. So I got that. I got capitals, I got spaces, I got periods, I drew my pictures. I think I'm good to go. So once I feel like I'm good to go, I can snap a picture. I can be in the picture or not. And then I can post it to my OneNote to share with everyone, okay? So the next time you sit down to write, if you're finding that it's really hard for you to get started, or you're finding that you need lots and lots of help, try slowing down and going through the steps. And you don't have to do all the steps in one day. You can maybe just do drawing and labeling on one day. Then you can do maybe talking and pointing and writing on the next day. And then maybe on the next day you go back and you reread and you edit and add stuff if you need to. And then you can share it. So it might take you 3 days to write a whole thing. And maybe it doesn't. We're all different, right? And your best is the best for you. Try these steps, see if it helps, and just remember, you are a writer. You really are. You all are. Have a wonderful day, and I can't wait to talk to you again.